Hey guys, Dustin Scout here, and today we'll be playing Buried, an interactive story. So I'll be sitting here reading stories to you as you watch, I guess. It's just a click and choose your own adventure game, basically. I open my eyes, and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back, and everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what. But something happened. And my head. My God, my head hurts. And a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion, I think. I remember Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not here. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of the crew. Search for hard hat. I get up on shaky legs and look around for a moment. A few nearby trees look to have been splintered and broken at the base recently. They clearly weren't like this earlier. Searching for the hard hat feels normal. It makes me feel like maybe there isn't something wrong here. I see it behind a fallen log, about 10 feet away from me. How it was thrown so far is beyond me. Driven by nothing but more than habit, I walk over to it, pick it up, and place it on my head. Next, I walk to the center of the logging site and don't like what I see. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. The one load we had managed to stack on the truck for the day is overturned and the trailer bent and the logs hanging off the back. Where the heck is everyone? My head is killing me, and this ringing in my ears, I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my own footsteps, nothing. It makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat fell off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company, and we've been logging in the strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief. But it also makes me fearful because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. Look at debris. There are bits of debris everywhere. There are fragments of the 5-gallon bucket I keep our work rags in, a loose saw chain, and an overturned gas canister. Had there been an explosion after all the fuel on the site would have started a fire, but there's no charring, no burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he had been moving slowly. He had only taken down 4 trees today. His metal lunchbox is open, an indicator that he had been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the heck is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell, but its battery is already running really low. Not that it matters, the reception is crap out here. Yell out. Hey guys, where is everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joe? But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing back other than scaring a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help. But why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them. But with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. My God, I can't remember what I was doing before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that? Underneath the bulldozer. Oh my God, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks unstable, like it might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. Go look. Hey, I yell. Are you okay? Are you alive? Holding onto my hat, I skip over the wreckage, the wrecked equipment and stray logs to get closer. I can see a bit more of a leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg is bent in an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. Leave the body alone. There's nothing I can do for him now. I start to back away slowly. In my shock, I stumble back, suddenly tripping over one of the stray logs. My head collides with one of the logs as I bite the ground, but my hard hat does its job. Thank God I decided to look for it earlier. But what's more startling is realizing that Tony is dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising in my throat. I don't know what it is, scream or vomit. But I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. Shoot. I can't believe this. Tony. He had 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's basketball team. He was the hardest worker I had. He was one of the most honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears, it's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds and sounds like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out here is creepy, and there's a smell, like the atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it. I'm a little scared. Everyone is missing and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like heck. My head was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knee. I must have heard it during the what? Accident? Or, wait, is it Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground, motionless, about 30 feet away. Get out. Dennis! I yell. Dennis, can you hear me? Dennis lets out a shout, like someone waking from a nightmare. He then looks back at me from the ground. Yeah, Roger, I hear you. He hollers back as I head over to him. Dennis is built like a wrestler and he's tough personality to match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, the fear on his unusually confident face is alarming. What the heck happened? What's going on? He asked. An explosion? Dennis said. Yeah, I believe that. Why do you say that? I asked. Did you see something? He doesn't respond. Still sitting on the ground, he looks around the woods as if he is just now understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned, the dozers too, I say, shifting my hard hat and wiping my forehead. You okay? I ask him. Yeah, just shaking up. Yeah, me too. This might have been the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. While he and I have always been on good terms, we've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before, but I've always seen him to do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up on his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's death right now, not before we know what's going on, but he has the right to know. Hey man, Tony's dead. Dennis's eyes fixate on me, startled. He was crushed under the dozer, I say. Dennis pauses for a moment, like he's trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his body lip quivers. Shoot, he adds quickly, as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? I'm behind, sorry. He says, fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tight, almost like brothers. Hey, he adds quickly, as if trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger, he says. It was like this flare of white light. It came right up out of the ground like an explosion. Oh, so there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some of the equipment, or... This was no equipment, Dennis interrupts, agitated. This huge ball of light came right out of the dang ground. Well, where did it go? It just shot up into the sky until it was out of sight. When? I'm not sure, he answers. But I had finished about 10 trees for the day and was about the top one. That's when it happened. You were almost done with 10 trees, I asked. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when the light blew up. Why? Why? You don't believe me? I believe you. He said what he saw. I think to myself, he has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm being honest, it's scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the heck out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very thick red splotch that makes me worry. Are you in a lot of pain? I've been better. I don't know how much longer I can stay on my feet, he says. What happened? I asked. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. It must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him the question. He just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of this sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. We'll be okay. It's probably nothing. Let's be realistic, I tell myself. I might as well try to be empathetic. Out here in the middle of these woods, the ringing could be anywhere, anything. Maybe a car alarm thrown through the woods or something. Still, even my passive comment seems to have reassured Dennis. He looks a bit calmer, more relaxed. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you call Frank? Dennis asked. I know he had his cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I still have some battery left. I pull out my cell and call Frank. Happy I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I give each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up, and we walk behind the lawn to find Frank's phone on the ground abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing, not a single trace. It's then that I notice something really odd. A 10-foot wide hole in the ground, right where the phone was. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, smoothly dug, cutting into the earth, wide, but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted, no shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like the same kind of hole where I saw that light come out of the ground, he muses to himself. I say nothing. My mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At that moment, the ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on, and we might not be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. Agreed. Let's get out of here. With that, we turn and start walking to the west, in the direction of I'm pretty certain leads to the road. Alright guys, we're gonna stop here. I'm not gonna do a huge video of me reading through this, because reading is fun. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, put a like up. I'll continue reading, I guess. See you guys in the next video.